Hey there, drone fans. Rick here again from Drone Valley. In today's clip, I'll tell you why I think the Mavic Mini is the perfect travel quad. Now, I get this question an awful lot on the channel, and it usually comes from somebody that's heading on a vacation, and they shoot me an email and ask me, Rick, which quad should we buy? Which one's the best? And normally, that's a really difficult question for me to answer without asking you a lot of questions. I need to understand what your budget is. Are you going to fly commercially? Are you just going to use it for recreational flying? Do you need 4K footage? And all those things together can help me determine which quad might be right for you. The best part about asking a question about taking it on vacation is that you've already answered a lot of those questions. I know immediately you want a quad that's reasonably priced, you want one that's small enough to bring along with you, you want one that's stable in the air and easy to fly, and the Mavic Mini fits the bill for all those questions. Now, there are better quads in the market, absolutely. There are quads that'll shoot 4K, this shoots 2700. There are quads that'll fly longer, fly further, have more sophisticated features. But again, if you're going on vacation, all the criteria I mentioned before about portability, price, stability in the air, and ease of flight, this is the quad you want to go with. Now, I'm going to go through those individually in a minute, but I fly a lot of different quads and I travel an awful lot with my job. I take a lot of vacations, and whether those vacations are on an airplane to someplace exotic or in the car driving to the state next to me, I want to have a quad that I can take, again, that's easy to use, that's portable, that gives me plenty of flight time and takes really decent pictures. And the Mavic Mini is my choice. Most cases when I'm flying, especially because wrestling a big hard case into the overhead compartment just makes bringing a quad along a bigger deal. And it makes it a bigger decision, quite honestly. And there have been vacations in the past, back when I was originally flying a lot of the Phantom products, where I'd have to make a decision about, do I really want to bring that case along with me? Because it's such a hassle to get through the airport with it and find space in an overhead bag, or if I check it, is it really going to be there when I show up at my destination? A smaller quad like this just makes that decision so much easier because it's so small when it's packed up that you almost forget you're bringing it along. For example, if you buy the Flymore combination, you get this beautiful case. Now that case is about the size of an average purse. I don't know about that because I don't have a purse, but I can compare it to a pair of shoes. There are shoes that I take on vacation. That case is smaller than the shoes that I'm packing, so I can pack one less pair of shoes and have everything I need to fly that quad. And this case will hold the quad, the controller, a charging hub, 3 batteries, all the cables, filters, all the stuff that I need fits in this tiny little case. So from a portability perspective, it's a no-brainer. Anytime I leave the house, whether I'm driving to a location for a couple of days off or I'm on an airplane flying somewhere else, this guy's typically with me. Now, there are quads that are close in size, so you could argue, well, gee, the Anafi's about the same size, the Mavic Air 2's about the same size, but for me, the price on this one puts it right in that sweet spot for most consumers that maybe haven't flown before, but they've seen footage from the air of Fiji or some beautiful location and are thinking, you know what? We're going on vacation. We've got a really good camera. Why don't we bring a quad along and see if that's going to be a little bit of fun? So portability is the key. The other thing that's really nice about it is it's tiny. This thing folds up to be small enough where when you get to your location, this can pretty much fit in your pocket. If you've got a jacket on, or if you've got somebody that's got a day bag with them, they can throw it in the day bag. Everything you need can fit in that and you can bring it along. There's no concern about big heavy batteries or bigger controllers and all the rest of that stuff. So portability in this thing is incredibly good. The other thing I'll tell you about a quad like this is that I'm going to talk next about flight characteristics and stability because that's super important. And then I'll talk at the end about some of the cool features that are built into this quad that make it really easy to fly. But one thing I love about quads, in particular these days where everybody's starting to get into them, is the fact that as terrestrial creatures, we're typically two-dimensional. So we see things on the ground. But when you get that perspective from 100 feet up, those vacation photos and the footage you're going to shoot from up there is absolutely breathtaking. So nobody, and this isn't a secret, nobody likes to look at vacation photos. I don't even like to look at my own vacation photos, but somehow when you put a drone up in the air over that beach or the forest or that beautiful mountain, again, people look at that and their jaw drops. And it is something you want to relive again and again. So having that dimensionality to get up in the air and look at an area differently really changes things for your vacation. The other thing I will tell you is that bringing a quad along on a vacation changes everything for you because you're going to start thinking about, let's get a beautiful shot of that beach. Let's all go out today to the beach and get a shot of the beach. So there's never a dull moment on vacation. It gives you another reason to get out of that hotel room or get out of that little place you're staying with the family into the fresh air, put a quad up and just explore that landscape. So in addition to it being portable, it spins up in less than a minute, which is another important feature with some of the quads. You don't want to have a quad when you're on vacation that takes you 2 minutes to spin up, make a connection, and get up in the air because spontaneity is really critical. So if you're on the beach and you're having fun and you're thinking, boy, this is a beautiful location, let's put a quad up and get a shot, you're going to lose that momentum if you've got to spend a minute and a half or 2 minutes spinning something up. So the Mavic Mini small, portable. It's with you all the time. It takes that whole decision process about should we bring it or shouldn't we bring it out of the equation. It spins up quickly. It's intelligent, so you can actually do automated shots where it's going to get the perfect shot of you and the family without somebody hanging onto a controller. So everything about this quad, from a portability standpoint and a professional technology standpoint, really is built into it. Now, if you stay tuned, the next section I'm going to talk about is the brains of this technology, because more often than not, when you get a smaller quad like this, especially one that's as inexpensive as this, now I know $400 or $500 is not a cheap price for a quad, but you could buy quads for $100 that you're going to hate. You're going to take them on vacation, put them up once, the wind's going to catch them, and they're going to be off heading towards the ocean. This has all the sophistication of larger, more expensive quads built into a tinier little airframe. So I'll talk about that next, but it's incredibly stable in the air. It's incredibly easy to fly, and people just have a lot of fun with it. So stay tuned, and I'll talk about the stability next, and then I'll talk about some of the autonomous features that DJI has been able to cram into this brilliant little flying machine that really changed the game as far as family photos go. Another reason you're going to love the Mavic Mini is its stability in the air and how easy it is to fly. DJI has taken all of their sophisticated electronics and somehow shrunk them down and put them inside the Mavic Mini. Things like an IMU unit, GPS coordination, compass positioning, VIO when it's close to the ground, all of those systems are inside this tiny little quad. And I often say that it's a small quad that flies like a big quad, but the big difference between this and a lot of other models in the market is the algorithm that actually controls the coordination of all those different systems to make decisions to keep that rock solid in the sky. Now, it's a pretty windy day today. There's a lot of bursting going on with wind, and it's fighting it pretty well, and that's because of the algorithm. The other thing that's nice about this is that you know when you take your thumbs off the joystick, it's going to stay exactly where you leave it. A lot of other quads that are based on ADI or maybe don't have really good GPS coordination in them tend to drift an awful lot, and that can be dangerous if you're in a field like this because you're flying near trees, and if you stop it, you think you stop it, and it continues to drift, it could crash into the trees. So I love the fact that it stops where I leave it. It's also incredibly quick on the joystick, so down and up. Now I've got it in regular mode, that's not even sport mode, but watch when I move it sideways, watch how it corrects. I'm going to go to the left. Take my thumb off the joystick. Did you see how it overcorrected? It actually spun the motors differently to actually pull it back to get to the point where I took my thumb off the joystick. So it did pass it a little bit, and it immediately pivoted to get that position there. So that's really important. The last thing I'll say is because of the enhanced Wi-Fi in the unit, you're getting almost instantaneous video feed from the camera on the front of the unit. And that's important because if I'm downfield and I'm getting close to something, I want to make sure that what I'm seeing here is exactly what's going on down there. And because of that enhanced Wi-Fi functionality, all of that stuff is in sync. So overall, what you've got, again, is a small quad that's incredibly portable that flies like a much bigger, much more sophisticated quad. Another thing I love about the Mavic Mini are the quick shot modes. Those are pre-programmed flight patterns that with the touch of the screen, you can actually have the quad fly autonomously, either to circle you or away from you at a distance or straight up in the air. And those are wonderful if you're on vacation because you don't necessarily want to be flying the quad and trying to be in the shot at the same time. So this allows you to set up the shot, hit a button, stand back with your friends and get that perfect shot of you and the beautiful background behind you. And that's all because of the brains that are built into the Mavic Mini. Now, I'll show you a few of the quick shot modes next. Okay, hope you found that helpful. And again, a couple of final points about quads on vacation. When you're going on vacation, you're excited because you're going to some destination that's probably gorgeous. You've never been before. You'll want to explore when you're there. But every vacation has downtime. Every vacation, sooner or later, the momentum of the trip settles down a little bit and you find yourself in the hotel room looking through a brochure going, what do you guys want to do today? I don't know. What do you want to do today? This gives you a reason to get the heck out of that hotel room and go fly the beach. And if you've got kids with you or somebody that's never flown before, the Mavic Mini is smart enough and safe enough where you can put almost anybody at the controls, keep it low and keep it close, and they can have a whole lot of fun out there. And the other part I love about it is that vacations, again, tend to be two-dimensional, where you see pictures from a vacation in Hawaii or some other place you're traveling to, the Grand Canyon, and it's hard, you can't fly in the Grand Canyon, but anyway, you'll see pictures of those locations and you'll think, I can take that same picture, I can take that same picture. It's the same picture. Okay, your family's in the picture, but putting a drone up gives you so much different a perspective of that particular location, and I promise you, once you start flying, you're going to be like me. It's going to infect you, and you're going to start thinking about that location. And boy, what would that look like from the sky? And should I be on the other side of it shooting down at this angle? So it's going to change your entire approach to the vacation when you're taking those photos. And the last thing I'll say is that with the autonomous modes that are built in, don't think of this as something that's going to be labor intensive, that you're going to have to put it up and the whole vacation I'm going to be on the sticks going, all right, Frank, get to the left a little bit. John, get over here. You're not in the picture. It's not that complicated. The autonomy built into this quad, again, because of the brilliant engineering at DJI, allows you to put up in the air, hit a button on it, and immediately have it circle you and capture that beautiful vista behind you, or do the helix, or do the droning where it flies away. It builds in the smarts that are needed to take those pictures without a whole lot of effort, and you can immediately edit those in the application and post them to social media, and you're going to blow your friends away when they see that kind of footage. So again, I know there's a lot of other quads in the market, and trust me, I fly all of them. This is the one that I recommend for anybody going on vacation that needs a simple quad that's a whole lot of fun to fly, that's stable and safe in the air. So if you have any questions, anything I've covered today, please drop those in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. If you're in the market for a quad and you want to check out the Mavic Mini, I've got a link below as well. If you hit the link, you go to DJI, we get a little credit for that. So you'll support the channel by using that link. But I love a lot of quads on the market today. But this Mavic Mini, from the very day that it hit my bench for testing, has blown me away with its capabilities, its sophistication, and its ease of use. And if you're going on vacation, you'd be hard-pressed to find a drone that does as much as this one does at the price point that they offer it for. So that's it for today. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I say this every time, I always forget to say it, hit that little button down there in the corner because I've got a ton of content coming. You're not going to want to miss that. We're heading into the holiday season. We've got a Drone Valley 12 Days of Drone Valley Christmas coming up, so you definitely want to stay tuned for those giveaways, because I got a lot of cool stuff we're giving away this year. But that's pretty much it for today. So thanks again for watching. Until next time, happy flying.